we are updating this gallery page. And again, like she said, in updating that kind of hero area, you'll have to have the page checked out, just like with anything else in the CMS. We're in preview right now, and you can see that right here. So we'll have to go to edit. The only thing that you're updating in multi-edit is what Annalise showed you right here in the brand. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very similar to a text page where all your other edits will be in this workable area. And especially for a gallery page, and I'll point this out, regardless of if you have, let's say, plain text, all content that lives on a gallery page must live within a gallery item snippet. So you cannot have any extraneous content because the formatting will be off, the sizing will be off, things won't look correct. So just make sure, and that's kind of the difference between a regular text page where you kind of just throw some content on a page, some copy in particular. Gallery pages are a bit more structured in that you need them to live within their own snippets. Even within here, even this list that I pointed out for you all, it's within a gallery item text snippet. So I will say sometimes gallery items get a bit confusing. So I'm going to do this as simply as I can. And again, this recording will live on forever and ever. And if you have any other questions about gallery pages, please reach out to us. So a few of the snippets I'm going to go over. I'm going to do the band with background color, and I'll start with this one. And this one is probably a good one to start on because it might be the one with the most complexity, for example. So band with background color is, like it says, it's going to be a gray band across the screen. So what I did, and sorry, I don't want to jump ahead, exactly like you would on a text page, you're going to go to your puzzle piece icon for snippets. And this is really the only place you're going to be working in within a gallery page. Once you have requested a gallery page, we'll then give you access to gallery item snippets. So if you start typing gallery item or even just gallery, you'll see all of your options right here. They're also listed in our user guide. Every single one I've demonstrated and shown screenshots on our page. So this is actually the very first one. I'll click on it and it gives you a preview, and you can see that it's basically just a large gray box. You'll insert it, and this is really the only snippet, gallery item snippet, that requires additional snippets to be nested within it. All other snippets on a gallery page can live by itself and really should live as a standalone snippet. But for this item, so if I just, let's say, click save, and just to show you what it looks like, it's just a gray band. Technically, you can just add a gray band to your page, but it's not really, adding to the informational side of your page. I mean, really, the purpose of a website and for pages is to share information. So we really just don't want a gray box for stylized purposes. We want it for informational purposes. So what you're going to do is keep your gallery item band with background color snippet right here. You're going to actually just clear out this text. And what a lot of people use this snippet for is to basically maybe highlight text, for example. So what I'm going to do is use a gallery item text snippet within this snippet. As you can see, if you click outside of it, it's not going to be highlighted. So what you really want to make sure is that you're clicked within the snippet itself. It'll highlight it in blue right here. And so what I'm going to do is go back up to my puzzle piece. I'm going to once again type in gallery item. And I'm going to just click text here. I'll click insert. And as you can see, it's nested within the background color. So this is my text. I'm just going to grab some sample text. I'm going to be showing you all some brand new commencement images, which are really nice. So, oops. Okay. Another thing you should point out, sometimes these snippets can be pretty sensitive. So make sure if there is, as you can see, some default image, or excuse me, default text here, to basically delete it. And if you highlight all of it, it might actually end up deleting the entire snippet. So just make sure you're really careful about the text that you add within here. So here's my text. I can see, again, it's nested within the background image, band with background color snippet. I'm going to click save. And as you can see, it pulled that text here, which was not formatted correctly, into more of the center here. As you can see, once you, and I can actually show you, once you kind of grab the side of your text box and you shrink it, it's going to format and not just have this extraneous text in Nowheresville not formatted correctly. So really the only one that's the most confusing, and the one I'm starting off with, is this bandwidth background color. Only because it's the only one that needs gallery item snippets nested within it. You can add a heading in here, you can add an image. So it really just adds this gray box to whatever gallery item snippet you're already using. So technically you can put a video inside of it. You can put a heading, like I said. So just make sure that for this one, like I said, you really shouldn't be using it as a standalone, unlike all the others, but you really need to make sure that your gallery item snippet is nested within the bandwidth background color item. If you have any questions about this one, please put them in the chat and our coworkers will answer that for you. I'm just going to move on to make sure we have enough time for questions at the end. So let's say I'm just going to go down the page, for example, and this is just for, again, demoing purposes. When I'm adding a new snippet, I want to make sure, again, I'm not nested within this snippet or this one. I want to be on the page itself. So you can see the cursor is living outside of these two snippets. So the next one I'm going to do is call to action. This one can get a bit confusing because it takes a few additional steps. So I just started typing call for call to action. I'll click on it. It'll give you a preview, and then we'll click insert. I'm not going to show you all the steps only because we only have a certain amount of time, but for this one, you're already going to have a call to action widget created. So that means, and I'll save the page and kind of show you what that looks like. Within your website, all of you are going to have a widgets folder, and you're just going to want to make sure that a call to action widget, which can be found up here under call to action, is already created. You have all of your links, and it's also published to test and production. So this is similar to, let's say, any type of image snippet. You want to make sure that your image is sized correctly, named correctly, uploaded. So again, this is one of those snippets where you have to kind of, this is kind of step 2 when you're actually adding it to the page. You want to make sure your call to action widget is created properly and published properly for it to display on the page and formatted correctly. If you need help with these widgets, for example, to add it to the page, please let us know. But as you can see, I already had a call to action widget created. So I'll go back, my page is checked out, I'll click edit, and then I'll go down to my call to action gallery item snippet. And as you can see, something's already linked. So all I have to do is highlight it. I'll click the link icon that's already highlighted for me. And what I'll do is and then what it's showing you right now is as our default call to action widget. So what you're going to want to do is just clear out this information and then click on the dependency manager here. What it'll do, or what it should do, is take you right into your website itself. So all I have to do is scroll to my widgets folder and then click on my call to action widget that I've already created here. I'll click insert, and you actually don't have to remove the text to display. You can if you want, but what's going to happen, and I'll show you in a moment, is going to override that with my saved call to action widget. There it is right there. So this is, again, what I've created in my widgets folder. All you're really doing is linking to it on this page. So all of your edits for the call to action gallery item snippet will be made within your call to action widget. All you're doing here is linking to it, and that's why it's displaying correctly here. Once again, nothing on a gallery page should be extraneous or not living within a gallery item snippet. So please don't try to just link to a call to action widget anywhere on the page. You really want to be using the proper snippet for this. And it's so cool to me that, I'm not a developer. I haven't made these in the background. I'm just showing you how they're used. But we go from this to this beautiful display. I think it's pretty cool. And as a reminder, for the call to action widget, you could have between 3 and 4 showing across horizontally. These are all linked. You can choose a different icon for each, and then you can have a short description underneath. So that's your call to action gallery item snippet. Lots of words here. We'll continue on, and another one that a lot of people use are headings on the page. So this is different from, for example, our pre-added headings that you should be using in terms of accessibility on a page. But these are actually some additional headings that we have just for gallery pages. So once again, I'll make sure I'm not within any other snippet. I'm just here on the page with my cursor. I'll click the puzzle piece icon. I'll start typing heading. And I'm just going to show you the regular heading today. I'll click insert. And again, this looks very similar to, let's say, like a toggle snippet where you're just kind of editing this text right here. So what I'm going to do is just clear this out, and I'm going to put here like USF commencement spring 2024, because I'll be showing you some images in a moment. I'm going to click save. And here is my beautiful heading. And as you can see here, all of your spacing and all of your snippets are formatting your content. So it's within the same line. If it's not, and I can give you one example right now, if things aren't living within a snippet and they're just extraneous, for example, let's say, this is my special heading, but let's say I just put it out here, I highlighted it, and I whacked like a heading 3 on it, and I click save. What it's going to do is stretch out to the edge of the page, and this is not going to format correctly on mobile, on iPads. It's not what you're supposed to be doing within a text page, or excuse me, within a gallery page, like you could in a text page, for example. So as you can see, and like when in doubt, make sure that all of your content is lining up. As you can see here very clearly, this is not, and this is not going to format correctly. So let's say you added a heading, and then so this is commencement, and you wanted, let's say, just some text underneath it. Once again, I'm not within this snippet. I'll go to my puzzle piece. I will start typing text. There's a few different options, but I'm just going to do gallery item text. I'll add that here. This is going to be my text content. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to paste it in and then highlight the rest of the default text, delete that, and click save. And as you can see, the heading really highlights the text underneath and shows that this is basically a separate section of the page. So we're talking about commencement here. For headings, there is an option to add an anchor link. So for example, what I can do, let's say this commencement information goes on and on and on and on and on. And what I can do is actually anchor the heading, for example, to jump to a portion, or excuse me, it's actually the opposite. If I have a ton of text here, and let's say I wanted like this link to kind of jump me back to the header, you can add an anchor link. That's within our user guide and within the chat that I put this morning for our resource. So I won't go over that today because it's a bit more complex and it's really not used as often. So I'm just going to keep this with heading. Underneath, again, underneath your heading, you could do whatever you like, an image, a video. And this is just something to show you that, once again, it's not part of our typical WYSIWYG options. It's actually specific for that gallery item page in particular. So I'm going to move on. Keep putting your questions in the chat if you have any. Something that we know that you users like a lot are rotators because you can show multiple images. Thus far, rotators have only been available on index or home pages, but now in a gallery page, we actually offered that option within the page itself. So what we're going to do is click the puzzle piece, start typing rotator, gallery item. And as you can see, even here, these images, particularly for the rotator, are very, very large. So you want to make sure that you have high quality images here for the rotator. So it'll look a little bit different than as you would update a rotator, for example, on your index page. So you can have your title, your caption, and then this is your image. And you right here have 3 images here. You could actually add rows or delete rows using these icons, but I actually have 3 set up for me anyway. So what I'll go ahead and do is add my 3 rotator images. So my title, this will be, I'm just going to name this commencement 1. It's going to be a theme, commencement 2 and commencement 3. I'm then going to be able to add a caption if I wish. This, again, is just going to be some default text that I'm copying and pasting and removing the rest of the content. Oops. I'm going to do this for my second one. And then this one for my third one, all talking about commencement. And again, these images I'm using are from commencement, from our professional photographers. They're amazing quality. That's why I'm using these for the rotator. As you can see, it shows you within the helper text, it's 1700 pixels by 968. That's a huge image. I've said it a million times. Make sure that this image is going to be high quality. So all you're going to do, similar to any other snippets within a text page, is you're going to click on that default gray area for where your image will go. And once you click on it, it not only highlights it in blue, it also highlights your insert edit image here within the WYSIWYG editor. So I'll click on it. I will clear it out. I'll click my dependency manager. And again, if everything's set up correctly, it should actually take you right within your own website's images folder. And so I know that it's called Gallery Rotator. I named that specifically. So what I'll do is I'll click my first one, Gallery Rotator 1. As you can see, you can even see how long it takes to load the image because it's so large. I'll click Insert. And of course, your alt text, very important, to USF. Oops, nope, that is not our university. Graduates hugging. I'll click Save. And again, it looks extremely stretched out, but once I'm done with it, you'll see how it lays out nicely across the page. I'll do the same thing for the next two. Click on the gray box, click on my image, clear this out, click on the dependency manager, start typing gallery within my images folder, Gallery Rotator 2. And I love this picture so much. I just added this to our commencement page, actually. So this will be USF graduate wearing regalia, smiling at the camera. I'll click Save. And again, you don't have to edit anything else within this window. And then my last one, same thing. Clear this out. Click on the dependency manager. Start typing the name of the image I need. 3. I can't remember what this. Oh yes, this is a doctoral student getting hooded. I'll click Save. I'll click Save one more time, and then I'll show you the preview of our. Oof, there it goes. Our fabulous rotator. So as you can see, the title is really for more. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the word. More for that like search content. But as you can see, the caption of what I put in here in that second column is what shows up right here. Similar to a homepage, it's going to show you with these dots kind of what image you're looking at. So you can either click the next dot to go to the next image, and there's our next caption, or you can actually click this next arrow. So again, these look fabulous on the page. They're super high quality. They're really large. So again, I really like this gallery page because it really does allow you to really show off your amazing images or videos or things like that. So this is the rotator. Again, you can add and delete rows or like, for example, slides as you wish. So it'll have those items there. So again, this is how you click through them. Make sure for any image you add your alt text. And the last one I'm going to show you is our text and image gallery item snippet. I would say this is probably one of the most commonly used ones. And I actually wanted to, I had this ready, and of course here, I'm just gonna show you an example of this one. So ignore this up until this page, for example. So this is actually a gallery page. This is a great example of how they use this. This is the heading, and then all of these sections right here. So the Zimmerman Family Foundation atrium, the forum, as you can see here, the cafe, etc. These are all text and image gallery items. And I'm going to show you that in a moment, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like for a page that really uses these snippets particularly, and I think it looks really great. So then if you would like to do that, what I'm going to show you, similar to this page, how they kind of go image on the right hand, image on the left hand side, I'll do the same thing. So I'll go back to my page, I'll click edit, I'll scroll, my huge rotator, make sure I'm not within the snippet. I'll click the puzzle piece. I'll then start typing text, text and image, which is my gallery item. I'll click on it, and again, it shows you that preview. Click insert. And this one's really nice because it kind of just has you go through the steps as you're working within this snippet. So this is your heading display. You can have a heading, but you don't have to. But for demoing purposes, I'll choose yes. I'll do a heading for this one. So I'm going to do commencement 1. I'm just going to pull that same type of info right here for my text. And then for my image, once again, even though this isn't as large as a rotator, it's still a very large image. Really, any images on this page are going to be pretty wide, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to click on the image. I already have them preset and uploaded into the CMS. I'll click on the image here. Again, I'll clear this out, choose the dependency manager, go back to my images folder, and this is my text and image. This is my first image, as you can see, same thing. And I'll just show you a little bit of a shortcut. So I worked really hard on my alt description. I don't want to have to write it again because I already used this same image. So I'm just going to click save for now. I'll scroll back up. I'll go to the image I want to use, or excuse me, the alt text. I'm actually just going to copy it and then go back to the same image I'm using. And then I'll just paste it right in here. Just saves you a little bit of time and brain power. So then image alignment, again, left or right. I'll actually just do this one on the left and the next one on the right. So there's my first one. And then if you want an additional one, you'll have to just add a second one right underneath it. So text and image, same thing. I'll have, or how about for this one, I don't have a heading. So I'll say no. I will add some text in here, just to kind of show you the difference. Once again, I'll click on the gray box. I'll click on the icon, clear out the information, go to my images folder. I'll click on my gallery text image 2, which is, oh wow, the same image I used earlier. I'll do the same exact thing. I'll click save. I'll go up to that image up here with this smiling graduate. I'll click copy for the alt text. I'll then scroll back down, click on it, paste it in here. Lovely. And then this one, I said I would go to the right-hand side. And once I click save, you'll see how it formats like this. So this one's really great because what it does is it keeps all of your content within basically the same working area. So this text, for example, won't like spill into this content right here. As you can see, this is the difference between using a header and not using a header. Technically, you don't have to have text here, but it's helpful to describe your image, for example, or any other information you want to display on a page. And one other thing I wanted to point out before I finish up demoing snippets in general. So like I said at the very beginning, the band with background color, that snippet is unique in that, once again, you need to have a gallery item snippet nested within it for that snippet to function properly. And then for example, your text snippet, you'll need to use that, for example, just for plain text on your page to make sure that everything is formatted correctly. And then I had one more thing to talk about, which I wrote in my notes. So give me one moment because now I'm forgetting. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I am coming back from a long trip and I'm still super jet lagged, so I'm like all over the place. Okay, yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out about this bandwidth background color is that you can almost see it as like a container for your content within it. So really, your bandwidth background color snippet, it acts as the container for your actual content that lives within here. So again, you don't even have to have a gallery item text. You can have an image, you can have a video. And then you can also, which is pretty cool, you can actually use regular text page snippets within a gallery page. How does that look? I'll show you an example. So our CMS user guide is actually a gallery page. So I hope you all have seen this page before. If not, lots of resources here. Everything about gallery pages you wish to know is right here. So as you can see, and what we've already learned from our demo is these are text and image snippets that I've used right here. But you can actually see the difference between how different it looks between this content and then, here, let me click save. And then this content, for example, this is just, the heading and the text and the image. And here we have 2 columns of content. How is that possible? It's because we're using our 2-column snippet from a text page within this gallery item snippet. Huge caveat here. If you are going to use, for example, a 2-column snippet, a toggle, a table, something that you would use within a text page, you need to make sure not only is it nested within a gallery item text snippet, and all of those will need to be in a text gallery item snippet specifically, you will also need to make sure you're inserting it into the correct area of the snippet, for example. So if you want to use a regular text page snippet, make sure it lives within a gallery item text snippet. I know that's confusing, but I'll show you that in a second. And then if you are going to use, for example, like a 2-column text snippet here, this also has to live within the text area of the snippet. I know that sounds very confusing, but I just wanted to show you on the back end what this looks like and how we're using it right here. So I'm going to click save, and I'm going to actually just show you this in real time. So what I'm going to do is go back to our page. I'm going to click edit. And then, for example, let's say I want a toggle on this page. Let's say I just try to add the toggle by itself. I'm going to click toggle. I'm going to start typing toggle. I'm going to click insert. Oh, it looks great. But then when I click save, as you can see, it stretches all the way out to the edge. We do not want that. We want this within the same working area here, this line of content. So what you're going to do for any regular or text page snippet you want to use on a gallery page, it has to live within a gallery item text snippet. So just as the band with background color right here was kind of used as a container for your other content, your gallery item text snippet is going to be a container for all regular snippets. You know, this is a lot of words coming at you. So I'll show you this in action. So I want to add a toggle to a page, but I know it has to live within a container, i.e. within a gallery item text image, or excuse me, snippet. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so confused. Okay, so we're going down. We have our gallery item text. We're going to click insert, and this is our text right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm highlighted within this gallery item text snippet. I'm then going to add my toggle. So that's step 2. It's going to be nested within this other gallery item snippet. And this is my toggle. Oops. And this is my, here, I'll put this content here. I'm going to just get rid of this extraneous text. And then I'm just going to click on the left-hand side and click delete just to get rid of that extra space. I'll click save. And as you can see, this is where it should be formatted on your page, not here living out in outer space. So all this to say, the gallery item is super flexible because you can not only use gallery page specific snippets on the page, you can use text snippets on your page, but you have to make sure that it's nested within the proper gallery page snippet for it to display correctly.